Hello, it's Thorm. I just wanted to give another update about joining the Navy at 30. I have now graduated A school and am in a C school in North Island, San Diego on Coronado, which is great. I'm so happy to be out of Florida. Um, but I wanted to give an update on what's been going on. It's really hard to make videos when you're in school and going through the motions. I was in Pensacola. I believe I arrived in Pensacola July 29th, and I did my A school there. So I'm an AT now, officially graduated on December 18th. And then I left for Pensacola that same day. They give you 6 days to drive to your next command. Since mine was in San Diego, I got 6 days. It kind of depends on where your next command or C school is. So I didn't get leave for the holidays because I had to report here as soon as possible. I got here the 23rd, checked in. That whole process was a nightmare just because no one told me anything. And because this is a C school, I don't get a sponsor. I didn't know that. So I reached out and they were like, no, you have to come here, get a room first so that you can change into your uniform because every new command, you want to make a good first impression when you go and check in. So I went to go get a room and they denied me a room until I checked in. So I ended up checking in civilian clothes because I had nowhere to change. Um, when you're driving in, I just so that was a no-no. Thank God it was the holidays. I don't think they cared that much. One gentleman made a comment, but I had called earlier and asked permission from a yeoman first class. I was like, listen, I don't have anywhere to change into a uniform. If you want me to change into a bathroom, I can. But she was like, don't worry about it. Come on in. We'll just check you in. We're all leaving. It's, Christmas Eve tomorrow. Let's just get it taken care of. I'm sure they don't want to be here longer than I want to be there. So thank God she reached out to me because I would have had no idea what to do. So as soon as I checked in, I don't know, on the quarterdeck with the command for my C school, I went and got a room, and this is my room. I have a roommate. She's a Marine. Um, this room is big. It's so much better and nicer than Pensacola. You get your own bathroom, so you don't have to share with, we call them headmates. So there were 6 girls to a bathroom in Pensacola in the barracks. Um, and I have a lot of storage now, but I don't really own anything. I didn't want to pack too heavy for Japan, so I'm not going to really gather anything while I'm here either. And now I'm on quarantine. Quarantine from the 23rd until I class up on January 4th when my C school starts. So I'll be all by myself for Christmas and New Year's, but that's okay. It really is beautiful here. It's about 70. It's very sunny today, and it's Christmas. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Um, I have coffee, instant coffee, and I do want to say a lot of questions that I've been getting have been about boot camp specifically. Um, my boot camp, I feel like, was an anomaly. People aren't really going through ROMs anymore. It's not as hard mentally. I had a really hard time mentally in boot camp just because it took 3 months, which could have been a Marine at this point. Um, but that was really the hardest part, I think, mental. Otherwise, if you're an adult who can get along with people younger than you, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Um, and the PFA standards are, I mean, guys, if you can't do the PFA as an older individual, I don't know what to tell you. They're pretty easy. So just work on it before you go to boot camp. I think that's where a lot of people were getting scared or messed up. They were getting sent back in boot camp because they couldn't do the PFA. It's just not enough time for the Navy to get you into the standards. So just work out before you go. But I also want you to know the stress doesn't stop at boot camp. It continues. My A school was very long. I was there from July till December 18th. And because of COVID, I think honestly, COVID has just been running amok. Um, because of COVID, I think we only got let off the base maybe 3 weekends. I can't even remember how many weekends it was. But there were still stipulations. You couldn't do what you wanted. you still had to be back at certain hours and do extra accountabilities, and it was honestly terrible. So we were all stuck on base pretty much 24/7 living the military lifestyle because there's all these rules you have to follow. You always have to be in uniform. You can't order food before a certain time because they won't allow you to leave the barracks to go get it because they have to have accountability. It's a lot of the little stuff that really stresses you out and it starts to wear on you, especially as an adult. 30 years old, I can't walk outside to go get the pizza that I just ordered for dinner because we're waiting to drop Liberty because, something happened or I don't know, every day was very different and it gets difficult after a while. It did for me. Um, it gets difficult. I think one of our instructors once was like, see the US Navy? The H stands for happiness. And it really did make us laugh. But it's the COVID stuff has been by far the hardest. I don't know if I would recommend joining during COVID, but I think that's kind of becoming less and less prevalent now. Um, People are getting vaccinated for it now, which is great. I'm hoping that because of that, if you go to A school, they'll let you off base. You can travel. There are just so many restrictions right now, even in the military. It's just, that's the biggest school the Navy has. And the turnover is so high, they don't want people to leave and come back and get everybody sick and ROMed. I think even now in Pensacola, they're allowing people leave if they are still going to be there after the holidays. But since I graduated, I just had to go to my next command. But everybody else is seeing their families right now, which I think is great. It's been, I mean, especially for Marines, it's been at least 10 months since people have seen their families, which I'm older. Doesn't really affect me too much. You get older, you see your family less and less often. But for the younger kids, it's kind of tough for them. So they actually have to come back after leave, go back to Pensacola, and they are going to ROM the entire base, like all of the students, for the 2 weeks until classes start again, which, I mean, that's what you have to do. You have to prevent the spread. Um, and I think maybe now, if you're joining, you don't really have to worry about that. But if you did join this year or thought about joining, I just, I had a hard time. I had a hard time with it. But now I'm in San Diego, and it looks like it's going to be less restrictive once I'm off quarantine. I still don't know where my school is. I still have to figure some stuff out. I do have to do some like phone musters while I'm in quarantine, just to make sure they have accountability for me. But otherwise, yeah, I'm much happier here with little less restrictions on the COVID. And of course, Coronado, North Island, if you get stationed here, it's beautiful. It's such a beautiful base. And the city of Coronado, if you've ever been, it's very classy, it's very expensive, but it's a nice change. I'm from Utah, so it's back on the West Coast, which I was very excited about. I even had a couple friends already drive out to see me here. It's not that long of a drive compared to Pensacola. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure what else you guys want to see. I guess the room is a lot bigger. That's my rack. You have storage underneath, and on the side is where I keep my food. We have a full fridge, which is great, so we can make some stuff. You're on my desk right now. Like I said, the bathroom and the toilet are actually separate, so you can be showering and still use the bathroom, which is great. There was a couple times in Pensacola where I had to go to the bathroom so bad, and I had to figure it out. But yeah, if you guys want specific questions, maybe you can ask me in the comments and I'll write them down. I know that my C school is just going until March 22nd, and then I go to my ultimate is Atsugi, Japan. So I graduated top sailor in my class, which means I got to pick my orders. My first orders were ATI level, which is what I went to school for. In Norfolk for 3 years, shore duty at the Navy shipyard. I didn't want it. I didn't want to go to Norfolk and just sit there. So I picked a new set of orders and I went O level. So I went ATO instead of ATI. So I did all that school just to go O level, but it's okay. Their school's shorter, which would have been nice. But um, so I'm going to be doing ATO on the HSM 77 Squadron Saberhawks, and that's Hilo's out of Atsugi, Japan. So I picked it because I wanted to live in Japan. Um, and I'm really excited. I can't believe it really worked out. I'm very glad it did. And that is, I believe, it doesn't work like that for everybody. I believe my case was very different. I was the only sailor in my class for a very long time, which means I would have gotten top sailor anyway. I had a class mostly of Marines, and it's because of COVID, and our class was so small. I think it was 8 people, and then we had a couple people fail the tests who were in the classes that were supposed to graduate in front of us. So then they fall into your class. So then I got 2 more female sailors, and so my competition was not that hard because there weren't as many of us. Um, and I don't know. It's just the luck of the draw. Also, I think people get their hard orders usually quicker if it's not COVID in A school. So they'll still have like 2 months left and they'll already get their orders. For us, because the classes were so small and COVID, and we came at a really hard, like weird time, I had a lot of time to deny the orders, get new orders, um, so that I could get what I wanted. Uh, don't hold out for that. I don't know. Sometimes it's just the luck of the draw and what you get. Um, but really just make the best of wherever you are. And I found that some of the best people I've ever met were in A school. Um, and I'm going to miss them dearly. They really become your family. You spend more time with them than even your own division. Um, so reach out to them. I think there's a lot of older people that are joining the Navy as well. One of my best friends, she's back still in Pensacola. She's my same rate, so ATI. She doesn't graduate till February 2nd, though, and I'm hoping she comes to San Diego. But she's 32, and honestly, I love her so much. If it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have made it. But just find like the one person you guys can understand each other and hang out and, I don't know, go to the beach and just take it for what it is because what you're doing is really awesome. It can be amazing, opens so many doors. I really want the VA home loan. I want, to finish college. I have a 2-year degree, but now they'll pay for a 4-year degree. And I get to live in Japan, which was the whole reason I personally joined the Navy. I wanted to live abroad. I don't think I would have been able to do that on my own as an adult and like make a living and earn a paycheck. So just look at the bigger picture because there is a lot of suck, a lot of rules, regulations, but you'll get used to it. A lot of navigating, and I still don't know a lot about anything, but I'm sure it comes in time. So yeah, if you want me to answer anything else, maybe put it in the comments and I can go through in the next one. I have a lot of time on my hands now, which is great. So see you next time.